On the first day, OG had 2 or 3 players who were a little bit sick. No Tail was a little bit nervous. It was his first pro match in a few, in a while, let's say. So it was a little, getting the shaking the rust off, getting back to grips. Yesterday they looked a lot better. So what are you expecting coming into this series? What do you expect from both teams really? Is there any specific lineups you're looking for? Heroes, playstyles? Anything we should expect from these two teams?
We do have Ludus back, so I'm hoping that OG are going to be a lot more solid than we saw yesterday. Sure, they did win against Passion UA, but I was actually expecting OG to come out with a 2-0. But
Mhm.
in this matchup, 4 Pirates, Rob, they have been looking pretty strong. They've been winning tournaments in the European scene left, right, and center. Sure, it's not been against those big tier 2 teams, but I have a feeling this is going to be a lot closer between these two than we would expect.
Yeah. Looking at it, I've seen, like I said, I haven't seen 4 Pirates for the past. I don't even think I saw them in the last CCT, like personally, like being able to get and watch their games in detail. But from what I've seen of OG, like say, I think they've kind of shook that up a little bit. Again, talking that overall, I think teams are going to start avoiding this Abaddon carry that I saw on the first day of playoffs. I think it went 0-4. Lost every single match it played, so teams are starting to move away from that one. I know OG, they picked that sniper up yesterday. Sniper carry looked really good, so we'll see if they want to go back for that today. 4 Pirates even, know that's going to be coming out, and start to ban that one, because again, that is a hero that OG seem to be playing. On the other side, 4 Pirates, we can see how they played coming through the brackets, being knocked down by Zero Tenacity. Zero Tenacity on a bit of a run themselves. They did get taken, 4 Pirates won that one, Zero Tenacity got knocked down, and then it was Liga taking down 4 Pirates. And yeah, I think Liga coming into this one, they are my personal favorites to win. I don't know if you've picked a team, but Liga are looking like, to me, maybe if Mouse, get themselves a good role. Yellow Submarine not too far behind there as well, but I think Liga, for me, just a cut above everybody else.
I think the big theme for this one is you had 4 invited teams, and all 4 of them actually dropped down to the lower brackets. 4 Pirates made it further, right? They did win against Zero Tenacity, but now even they're down. So, and you also have Passion UA, who were an invited team this time around, who are now eliminated. They did lose against OG yesterday in what was a 60+ minute game. So it's a heated contest in the lower brackets. I'm not exactly too sure who's going to be coming out ahead, even with the series between Yellow Submarine and Mouse. Yellow Submarine did also participate in some of those other tournaments out there, and they have also had reasonable success. I wouldn't say it's a whole lot of success. I do think there is a bit of disparity between the tier 1 and the tier 2 Russian scene, where you take a look at TI, and you have the majority of the players in TI heading from the Russian Dota scene. So here's hoping that the tier 2 to tier 3 scene should be catching up. There's plenty of healthy competition to be found there. But as far as the 4 Pirates versus OG matchup goes, you talked a bit about the meta. 4 Pirates are sticking to the current meta, right? Despite the fact that OG are the ones who are shaking things up, like the sniper you mentioned. Perhaps we do see it come out here, but I think the sniper yesterday
games that I have seen from OG, they always pick, or more often than not, they pick Stormstormer's hero first, which puts them at a disadvantage in the lane, obviously, because you're going to be playing up against some bad matchup. Stormstormer, he does have the quality to kind of rise above that sometimes, but it feels like, again, if the players have been sick, maybe Stormstormer was one of those players because he's been off the ball. I think the past few matches that I've seen, so I think it is going to be up to seeing the rotations in from Days, seeing the rotations in from Lelis, seeing those rotations maybe to support Stormstormer in the mid lane, see what they could do there, and how he's going to be able to kind of overall impact that game. Because, like I say, playing from behind, especially from the mid lane, which is the high impact role that we're seeing OG kind of want to play around, it's not easy when you are behind. So yeah, has to look for, like you say, have that to translate into that mid game impact. Have those support him in the early game and see what he can do from there.
And it really is it's OG's way of playing the game, right? It is going to be at the back of Stormstormer. You are looking to create some tempo at the back of him, creating that space. And then you have OG, where Daze loves to play with Stormstormer. He really, I think, looks up to him as far as the game goes. And it's the duo, it's the mid lane and the position 4 duo, right? Because you have seen Shad, who loves to prioritize his farm. So whether or not OG are going to be able to create that space at the back of Stormstormer, which, as you mentioned, OG love to prioritize him as that first pick. So let's see whether or not those things will come about. It's interesting, right, Rob? Because a lot of times the draft actually brings about the win conditions, but we have, as far as OG goes, their win conditions seem to be pre-draft as well.
Yeah, I think it's a case, like you say, the mental preparation that OG need to do. I know they've took some heavy losses in the past, trying to get to qualify for like the offline events, trying to get the in-person events, and it's not quite, they've not quite got it over the line. And I mean, they're playing in one of the hardest regions, one of the two, I'd say, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, the two hardest regions to try and qualify for anything through. So it's kind of, like you say, trying to get over that mental barrier of, can they do it this time? And, maybe that started to creep into the games, and that's one of the reasons that you're looking at OG. I mean, OG, one of the first teams to bring in like the sports psychologist, to try and do the performance review, stuff like that. So I know they have the resources to try and get themselves in there. It's just, maybe it is, like you say, a case of that mental block. They just need to get over that hurdle, then, to get themselves into that performing role. So we'll see. I mean, looking at the heroes that they are banning out, the Dawnbreaker are going to be banned out here. Naga Siren, probably the top. Again, if you'd have told me 3-4 years ago Naga Siren was the top support in the game, I probably would have agreed, because again, in terms of the high-level players, whatever the pro players want to do, I'm only the caster. But, the Shadow Fiend being taken out, the Queen of Pain being taken out here, so some very big high-impact heroes being taken out here. So OG will see what they want to draft in the first role. On the other side, 4Pirates, going in for that Beastmaster. Don't mind this, can play in multiple roles. You're primarily that off-lane, but I've seen him in the carry, I've seen him in the mid lane there too, depending on where you want to flex. It is the Helm of the Dominator build that I'm seeing more often than not. What's happened to the Axe build for the Beastmaster? Why is it dropped off so hard?
I think the Axe build is more favorable towards a mid lane Beastmaster, or even a carry Beastmaster, where you want to be going in for your constantly fighting. I think the offlane Beastmaster is one which creates space around the map, and I think the Helm of the Overlord is just much better to create that space. But it does seem like 4Pirates have done their homework, right? Because OG picked up the Pugda for no-tail for the 2 games that they had against Passion UA. 2 out of 3 games they had against Passion UA. So 4Pirates certainly are not underestimating OG, and I really do hope that the same case will be there. The big question will be, who is Stormstormer going to play, or what heroes he's going to play? The Shadow Fiend and the Queen of Pain are banned out, and so is the Puck. So we might actually go back to that Dragon Knight for Stormstormer, or maybe they just go for a Spirit pick, but they actually will pick up the Nature's Prophet. I'm wondering though, it's again a flex, like you mentioned, right? Beastmaster can go anywhere, so can the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and the Prophet being played in the the 4-5 role there as well, being able to support. And this is one of those heroes that, even if you play it in support role, it's kind of like the Marcy, where you build them up into that semi-core role from the very get-go. It is a core, it's just a bit of a slower core coming out. The Orchids coming through, being able to get in with the Hexes there as well, just being able to play around. The global presence of that Nature's Prophet really does have a massive impact, not only in the later stage when he's able to split push it out, but being able to get the early ganks, that TP into the lane, just the instant TP into a Sprout, you can have an impact on the lane that you're not playing in. So I would like to see this as the 4 or the 5, so it can have that kind of leave the lane, get the kills, come back, play that support kind of role. And I think that's where teams are trying to, unless you've seen it in the core role, but for me personally, I do prefer it in that support role.
The core role, I mean, I think the core role can get punished quite hard, particularly when you do have a Beastmaster on the other side. That's why I am leaning. I'm. It's a +1 from my side, right? Regarding Nature's Prophet, I do think that the support role could be better. I think if OG want to play it as a core, though, then they should look towards picking up a strong, aggressive support like the Marcy that you mentioned, or maybe even a Tusk with the tag team coming in. But certainly the global presence of the Nature's Prophet should at least provide some kind of a buffer, because 4 Pirates, despite the flexibility the Beastmaster comes out with, the one ability of the Roar is going to be used as an initiation, right? You do know that from the get-go, so perhaps OG can stack up on these global potential heroes. Last series around, Rob, I even saw OG come out with a carry Underlord, if you would believe that, for Shad.
Yeah, I would. It's one of those heroes that, again, you don't see all too often. But if it fits the draft, if it's that final puzzle piece, yeah. And I mean the cleave coming out as well. I think that's been nerfed like 2 or 3 times now. It's still like once you get the damage up, there's still like a full screen cleave. So it is one of those heroes that, again, you can, if it fits the puzzle piece. Yeah, I would absolutely expect to see that coming out.
Right now, though, 4 Pirates, they're going to go for the Timber as well as the Undying Band. So they are actually prioritizing heroes that do well against strength-based matchups. So perhaps 4 Pirates are going to be stacking up on some sustained heroes. Maybe even pick the Dragon Knight up for themselves. Meanwhile, OG, there you have it, Rob. You called it. They will pick up the Marcy. And now, with this Marcy pick, do you think this Nature's Prophet should be a core?
I think. That's a good question, because I think you can still run the Marcy as a 4 and the Prophet as a 5 if you really wanted to. Again, the Prophet being able to get that global presence, it means that the Nature's Prophet can farm the unsafe parts of the map. You can teleport into the dire jungle. You can farm that out if if you think you know where the rest of 4 Pirates are. So I would like to see. Well, I do like that Spirit Breaker pick, but yeah, I do think you can run both of these as your supports. You could even run the Marcy 3 if you wanted to without Prophet 4. But yeah, I think there's still a little bit of flex going on here from the side of OG.
We did have the Spirit Breaker yesterday as well, but oh man, this is a lot of initiation from 4 Pirates, right? Just the Golem, the Spirit Breaker charging in, and the Beastmaster, and there's not a lot of disable being found from OG. I mean, you do have the rebound, but using the rebound to stop the charge is quite risky, right? So for OG, I would like to see some disables come out, and perhaps they even try to stop that carry potential with their Warlock, right? Using one of their last man. But it's so hard because there's not going to be a ban phase right now. So 4 Pirates have that option and that leeway to go for a Swen or maybe a Phantom Assassin or an Ursa as well, right? Those heroes are completely open. The ban pool has not been favoring any carries outside of this TB.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, the Templar Assassin is still there. From what I remember, didn't get a massive change in the last patch. In the last CCT, again, that hero was first ban, first pick potential. Teams have started to play around a little bit more. You'll kind of learn about the hero, but it's still a threat to be had here. So we'll see what OG want to go with. Again, can keep it flexed. They could probably pick up potential 3. Maybe pick up the Doom that can play in the 1 and the 3 here too. Silencer is another hero I know teams are trying to play around with. It has been banned out a couple of times. I haven't seen it being played myself, but I know it's on the ban list for a lot of teams. So they're going to go for the Pango. And again, don't mind this. Can be Storm's hero in the mid. Can play that one in the off there too. So yeah, we'll see how OG. I mean, they might just lock in their carry now, and then keep this Pango as a flex. But yeah, we'll see how OG want to lean with this.
I think they should pick up their carry right now. The Pangolier, I do think the Pangolier should be on the mid lane. I mean, does do very well against the Warlock and against the Spirit Breaker. However, I mean, the Roar stops the Pangolier charge, right? The Rolling Thunder, you can't adjust your pathway after that Roar comes out, so you're going to be like rolling in one direction. So 4 Pirates, I dare I say it, I do think that they're coming out with the better draft right now. OG, certainly with this Jakiro pick, it will mean that it's going to be a core Nature's Prophet, unless, of course, they want to run a core Marcy, which wouldn't be as good in my opinion. But 4 Pirates, I do think that you pick your carry now. I mean, the Ursa would be really strong for them, so would the Swen.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise to me if they want to run this core Prophet with the Spirit Breaker being so early picked up in the draft. Obviously, the Spirit Breaker, one of the better heroes at hunting down the core Nature's Prophet. So, I'm not saying they won't. This could actually, it could absolutely be like Shad's hero if they want to run this Nature's Prophet one. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a surprise to me that OG went that way. again, I'm only the caster. I'm not the pro player. There's a reason I'm sat here talking about the game, and they're actually playing the game. So we'll see 4 Pirates, like I say, if they want to lock in this hard carry now, and what they actually want to be going towards. And yeah, like you say, the Warlock on the lane with something. I'm not even on the lane with a Sven with that cleave built in. They're gonna go for the underlord. So again, if they go for this cleave, you have the fatal bonds there as well. OG's players, the heroes are picked up, not the tankiest heroes in the world. So how are they going to really match up to this Fatal Bonds cleave combo?
And not to mention, 4 Pirates, they're coming out with their own version of a global teleportation, right? So they have the perfect counter to that Nature's Prophet being that position 1. The Nature's Prophet goes in for a team fight, and 4 Pirates can bring in their entire team at the back of that Fiend's Gate. So and they actually are the ones to ban out that Ursa. So they are not exactly expecting, or perhaps they want to make sure that they have the flexibility to make it work. OG right now, as you mentioned, very squishy heroes. All 4 of them. The Pangolier isn't exactly a match. He provides frontline at the back of that Rolling Thunder, but outside of that Rolling Thunder, he's not exactly a hero with too much sustain on him. So OG are certainly on, I believe, the back foot regarding this draft.
Yeah, I think if it is going to be an offlane, if this is going to be the core Prophet, it's going to be the carry Prophet, that you have to go for something now that's going to be high impact in the lane. You're going to have to go for someone. I know the Marcy can get in with a rebound, likes to get in around the fights with the Unleash coming out, the Rolling Thunder from the Pangolier, but both those heroes to me, they like to be dipping in and out of the fights. They don't just like to stand their ground. Be taking a lot of punishment. So I'm looking at something maybe like the Brewmaster coming out. Maybe something like the Doom comes out here. You get the Tidehunter that can stand in the middle of fights, take a lot of punishment. The Mars maybe as well, if that's the way that they want to go. Something that can just stand their ground. Kind of make a line in the sand and say you go no further than this. And we'll see what OG's pick is going to be on that point in just a minute, because it is going to be 4 Pirates with that final response.
Perhaps OG can come out with a Tidehunter.
Yeah.
They did have it in that second game against Passion UA, or rather the first game against Passion UA. It didn't actually work out because Passion UA had such hypermobile heroes, but over here they are faced up against 3 melee heroes, right? And the Fiend's Gate, when it comes in, you can just throw down the Ravage on top of it. So if there's any time for a carry Tidehunter would surprise me yesterday, it wouldn't actually surprise me here.
It's going to be the Void's final pickup here coming out for the set of 4 Pirates. So you'll see what OG want to go for. They've got themselves a little bit of time left. And like you say here, if they kind of want to shuffle these lanes, we'll see what that final pick is going to be. Something maybe like the Timbersaw is an option there as well, just looking through. Centaur is still available. So there is still some big, beefy, tanky heroes left, like I say, in the carry position. Like the Sven, is Sven still there? Yeah, Sven's not banned out. Oh, no. Timbersaw was banned out by 4 Pirates very early on. Okay. But yeah, no, there is the lifesteal being taken away there as well. But yeah, there is some stand their ground heroes. I have no idea. Is this going to be a carry Prophet then? Offlane Stormstormer on the Lash. Right, okay, yeah. Okay.
Although I'm not too sure about this Leshrac. I know the Leshrac just does absurd amounts of damage, and Natty is going to have a very difficult time on the mid lane, but at the same time, what do you do against the BKB piercing ultimates? I mean, both the Spirit Breaker and the Beastmaster have that targeted stun that pierces through your BKB, and the Warlock has that counter initiation with the Golem. So in a situation where Stormstormer jumps in that front line at the back of his Edict with the Blink Dagger, the counter initiation may just be too much for OG to actually protect their Leshrac with.
Yeah, we'll see how it is going to play here. Okay, Shah going to be going for the Soothing Saplings, I think, unless he changes this one around. But yeah, I think just looking purely at the lineups, taking the players away, taking the playstyles away, I think I'm leaning towards this 4 Pirates draft. I just think it looks a little bit stronger. It's a little bit more sustainable in the fights. We'll see how OG, what traps are going to be able to proc here, what pitfalls that 4 Pirates might run into up against this OG lineup. And in fact, I mean, with this lineup, they could go very aggressive, very fast, really stop, because I think Beastmaster wants to get the big item, like you say, the Helm of the Overlord coming out. The Underlord takes a little bit of time to build up here as well. The Void Spirit takes a little bit of time. You want that, the BKB, the Arc Scepter, or the Lincoln Sphere coming out here for Void Spirit. So there is several items that 4 Pirates need before they get on a roll, where OG, they can just go, okay, we've got the Prophet 6, we can throw that Nature's Wrath out, we can TP into a fight, Pango gets the roll, so there is ways to play around this one for OG, but I do think they need to hit the ground running here in this first game.
I don't think they have any other choice other than to play a fast-paced game, Rob. OG at the back of that Leshrac and Shad at the back of that Nature's Prophet have to get the momentum going in their favor because 4Pirates are a lot stronger than them past that mid game. So OG, if they are able to get off to that snowballing start that they need, then I think that they're going to be at a good spot in that mid to late game where their Leshrac has the Shiva's Guard, has a lot of items to survive. But if they can't hit that timing, it will be a rough game for them.
Yeah, I think, like you say, they do need to kind of get it going. We'll see how it is going to go, though, as we get ourselves ready to get into game number 1 of OG versus 4Pirates in the lower bracket playoff match here to see who goes through and who is going to be going out. There is no second chances after this. You are fighting for tournament life, so you need to be coming up with your best or rethinking your plans here in the first game. We'll see how it is going to go. Storm are getting that early ward down. We'll see if there's going to be any early smokes coming through now as well, because I do think, if you want to get a little bit of pressure, both teams have an okayish rotation lineup here for the level 1. You try and get the smokes, try and maybe get a first blood on the board. So we'll see if those late smokes do come out.
The observer ward has already been planted by the side of OG, so they could go for the wraparound, although at the same time, yeah, there it is, Rob. You have the double smokes, and this Void Spirit, Natty needs to be careful because he is quite outnumbered.
Oh, yes. He's going to be able to edge that forward there and get that Observer Ward down on the other side. Stormstone was staying close. Actually went for the Lightning Storm at level 1 there as well, so no Split Earth, no immediate stuns. I'm just going to go for that slowdown here. We'll see how the play is going to go, because you can see that OG, like I say, are they wrapping around, trying to take a fight here. take us down on the low ground. He might not see this come in if the smoke does break. Well, I mean, his own smoke will break here. He's going to try and go for it, but is there anyone getting close here? Daze, not got anything skilled up here, not going to be able to close that gap on Otaker, so it's just going to be a bit of posturing here, and it's still going to be 3 bounty runes going the way of 4Pirates. So even after all that, OG not really going to get anything out of this one. Maybe get a little bit of harass onto Otaker, forcing him from going forward here, even in the creep wave, but the Firestorm comes out, and this is just going to be, again, 4Pirates just saying, we're not afraid, we're not going to crumble to your posturing.
Otaker still is going to be in a bit of trouble because Mixer is coming in too.
Yeah, and Shield Crash comes out now as well, so just immediate TP. Yeah, Otaker just says, I'm bored of this now, I'm going to go to the lane, and you can meet me there.
Yeah, he saw the dispose coming out from the Marcy, right? So he realized there's no real stun available, so he just went to the straight TP. But the mid lane is going to be the most important lane, Rob. The Leshrac versus the Void. Stormer, he's a phenomenal mid player, but he needs to play that little bit of an extra if he wants to be coming out ahead, as his team really needs it. He needs those early items.
And how do you think he plays this one, Are we going to be seeing because he's already got the early point in Diabolical Edict. Do you just get the 1 point in the Split Earth around level 5, level 7, and just focus on all that damage to try and take away the shield from the Void Spirit, because he did go for that Sanctuary shield, so it is an all damage barrier? Or, how do you want to play this one on the Lesh?
I think you just max out the Edict. The stun is not that reliable against the Void Spirit. The cost time animation for the Void Spirit's abilities are a lot faster than a Split Earth, not to mention they're a whole lot reliable to actually dodge out that stun. So perhaps we might even see Stormer go for the Rod of Atos against the Void.
Okay. And how does Natty play this one? Because he's a melee hero coming up against the Lesh. This is kind of where the Lesh, it's the bread and butter for the hero. What does Natty have to do to get in and get that farm on the board?
I think it's going to come at the back of some kind of a rotation coming in from 4Pirates, and they had the perfect hero for it, right? Ariel on the Spirit Breaker can come in to protect the Void Spirit.
Oh, bottom lane. We're going to see the first blood coming out here. I mean, the Beastmaster's going to be slowed down now as well. One more right click from either hero. TP coming in from the Nature's Prophet now as well. Just couldn't get the vision here, Shad, and he's going to be able to get the Sprouts out. One more right click. Is it enough? It's not. He's going to live through this. Lela's trying to get there as well. The creeps are underneath the tower, but you can see the Beastmaster's already starting to back himself away. Trying to play this one safe here, using that Tango to get some health back, but that was so damn close. All they needed was one more right click coming out from both heroes, and that would have been a dead Beastmaster, but you see that the Beastmaster playing on the very edge of his health pool and making it work for him.
And that, I think, favors 4Pirates because Shad went in for the TP, couldn't get the kill, and so had to leave the creeps there, right? So he is going to take a bit of hits towards his CS there. Not too significant, but those can quickly stack up.
And we'll see. Yeah, Mr. Morale, he's going to have most of his health back here. And you see the way he's playing as well. The 3 branches as well as the magic one. Wants to go, say, straight into the helm of the Dominator. So he's pretty much back into the lane. Didn't miss out onto too much here. Daze. The chase down onto Pananik. And is he going to be able to get the pullback? He does. And the immediate TP comes out here. Like you say, as soon as that pullback comes out, the suplex gets thrown. And you just say, yeah, cool, I'm going to TP.
I'm not sure if he needed to use a TP in that scenario. Mixer was pretty far away, but I suppose he didn't have vision on him. One thing though, Rob, is this offlane from 4Pirates. It's 2 melee heroes versus the 2 ranged heroes, and one of those ranged heroes is actually the Jakiro, who is one of the strongest support heroes out there. But now we have that rotation coming in to protect, or rather support Natty.
Let's see, Stormstorm already backing himself away. The risk of the random coming down now into the immediate charge from Uriel. Do they have the damage to try and go through this one? Daze is going to get the immediate TP in now as well. The drag back coming through from the dispose, and Natty now taking a whole load of damage. This will be first blood. And Daze gets it on the board. Really good counter rotation coming in. Daze, I've got to be careful because of the rotation coming in here from the Warlock now too. The Fatal Bonds does come out. Blood Grenade is there onto the Marcy now too. Trying to get that rebound out to safety. But I don't know if there's safety to be had with that Fatal Bond still going here. Charge onto Stormstorm. Stormstorm's got that edict going onto Uriel now as well. It's going to be a lot of damage here. Stormstormer is going to be close to use a Fairy Fire. He does effectively. It keeps him alive. Daze is so close to going down here. He's playing out again on that edge of the health pool, but Pananik's not going to be able to get the kill into this one. Stormstormer's got that bottle charge, so he's going to be able to get a little bit of life back here. No mana left onto the Warlock. The Warlock, though, can right-click down Marcy. No. If Marcy can close that gap, it's going to be so damn careful. It looks like Pananik's going to lose that current. Again, the Dive is going to be coming through out onto the Warlock. The Warlock is dead. Stormstormer. This is what we wanted to see from him. He woke up, he's had his Weetabix, and he is raring to go.
4Pirates overextending massively. I mean, they should have abandoned that chase after the Void Spirit went down, but they chose to continually go, and I'm not sure what the Warlock was trying to do there. I mean, Verdansk had no chance once that Edict came off of cooldown, and OG, all they really had to do was wait for that one spell.
Yeah, and I think if you look up the the term sunk cost fallacy online, somebody will put a video of that rotation there from 4Pirates. I'm pretty sure within the next 30 seconds or so that will be up. So really good start here for OG, getting the first 3 kills on the board. And then, like you say, it just means that Stormstorm is just going to get such a big advantage here in the mid lane because of the net worth bonus from those 3 kills here. Or the 2 kills and the 1 assist, up against Natty. So this is going to make it even harder for Natty in the lane.
He has about 500 more net worth than the Void Spirit, so nearly a whole 2 creep waves of an advantage, and that should allow him to hit those timings right. OG are acquiring their win conditions, but
bottom lane
are fighting.
Chad, yeah, he's going to be able to get the Sprouts off that Firestorm. It's not going to be enough damage here, but it will be Mr. Morale that gets the kill eventually. So 4 hero rotations, even bringing O-Taker down here through that Twin Gate because he's only level 5. He's not got that Fiend's Gate just yet. But this does mean it leaves the mid lane to be pressured like this. Natty, can he get himself away? Only level 5 here, trying to get himself away. He's got no step, though. So damn, it might be enough. Yup, they go the right direction. They find him out, and Natty, one more right, like Stormstormer with the level 6, will be able to take him down. And now the slowdown onto Pananik as well. The Blood Grenade does come through. Can he run himself away from this one on the Warlock? The Warlock, he's going to try and get himself denied by the neutrals, but I think the damage check, the rebound, pullback, and Shad gets a revenge kill onto Mr. Morale there as well in the lane. 6-1 OG. This is the OG that I was expecting on the first day, and they are making things happen here. Even when they're under pressure, they're making these responses happen almost immediately.
And it's a little bit of that sunk cost fallacy kicking in for 4Pirates, because Verdansk with that Warlock can't actually support or get any return kills. We've seen him twice now trying to make that cute little play onto Stormstormer, but he doesn't realize that the Leshrac can pound him with the Edict, and it's not even a close contest, Rob. It's Stormstormer is just too strong on that Leshrac right now for the Warlock or even the Spirit Breaker to do anything. I think the charge there should have been cancelled once you realized that there was no way you would have been able to save your Void.
Yeah, and this is what you were talking about in the draft as well, that OG need that fast start. They need to set the tempo. They need to be the ones that sets the pace and make 4Pirates play up to their speed, and that's exactly what they're doing. So we'll see if they are going to be able to keep it up. Like I said, with these rotations coming through, it is freeing the lanes up. Mixer was getting free farm there as well when the Underlord rotated to the bottom lane. O-Taker, you can see in terms of farm, he's going to be a little bit behind this Pango now as well. And Pango, again, he's got that level 6. Once this Diff Blade's up, I'd like to see Mixer maybe not even make rotations, but having heroes rotate to this lane and putting O-Taker under pressure. So we'll see how that one's going to play out. And again, he's already been forced off the lane, O-Taker. So this is looking pretty darn rough for 4Pirates. I really am looking. I mean, 4 Pirates, obviously, they want to step this game up, but if you're an OG fan, which I know there's a few of them watching, they should be really pleased with how this game has started. But like you say, OG, how do they translate this into the mid-game pressure to try and secure that late game and secure this first game win?
I think for Stormstormer, he's already queued up his Blink Dagger because of this good of an early game start. And the fact that 4 Pirates are not going to have their first item power spikes coming about, that means this Blink Dagger could be the key to unlocking that early game, right? Stormstormer jumps in and there's going to be limited options. But right now, 4 Pirates on towards the carry once again.
Oh, shit. It's going to be the immediate TPs coming in from the two heroes as well on the side. And one of them is going to be Stormstormer now, and Ariel just gets chased away here. And it is going to be another great response. Ariel and Mr. Morale both have to move themselves back. And I think, you know, again, someone just crossed my mind when I look at the hero, but I get why 4 Pirates are trying to go in for these kills, even if they, you know, are losing heroes to a point, because Pedantic wants those charges on the Black Grimoire. You know, it's kind of past the point now where he's going to be able to get that super-powered level 6. You know, if you either got like 5 kills and assists in the first 10 minutes of the game, whatever, he would have been able to just supercharge past everyone and hit that quick early ultimate. But I get why that the Warlock carried on going in, because if there's even a chance you can get one of those kills on the board, the extra XP you get from the Black Grimoire, it's so worth it there. It's worth giving your life away. But while this is going on, mid lane, going to be pressured here. OG, how are they going to respond? Because there is 3 heroes in this mid lane.
There's no TP on Stormstormer, so they're going to have to play without their Leshrac. They will bring Shad in, but let's see if they actually contest, because one of the missing aspects for 4 Pirates was the fact that they didn't have their ultimates. The Warlock is going to be pretty far from it, like you mentioned, looks towards securing that early ultimate at the back of that Black Grimoire. But now you have the Roar, you have the Fiend's Gate, so perhaps 4 Pirates are going to be a little bit stronger than OG, who don't have the Macro Pyre to play with, or the Unleash.
Yeah, and we'll see Nazi Narwhal making a rotation behind here. They might actually... Okay, he's just getting a ward down. He's getting a deep ward in the Radiant jungle. As he makes a rotation here, but you see how defensive OG are playing. They know these timings might be coming out. So none of the cores are showing if they don't have a way to support themselves. Pango with a roll. You've had the Mercy so close to Chad here. Charge coming through out. It's going to go through Lelis here. Ariel, was he actually going to try and charge onto it? Looks like they might be able to get the chase down. Stormstormer is going to show under vision, but he's already backing himself away. He knows something's not right. He pings out. There is going to be vision here in that Radiant jungle, so somebody needs to deal with it here. Daze could be in trouble here. He's going to be in the river, maybe caught out. Did he want to try and make a move happen? It's going to be the TP away coming out from Shad towards this bottom lane, so they're going to try and actually get a counter coming out here. Mr. Morale is in trouble. The Macro Pyre gets dropped. Stormstormer going to be able to get down here now as well. The TP away. Do they have a split earth? Anything to cancel this one off? They don't. Ooh, Stormstormer, if he'd have maybe thrown that one out blind, he might have been able to secure that kill, but it does mean tower pressure coming out from both Stormstormer and Shad.
It's perfect recognition coming out from OG, because they saw the 2 heroes of 4 Pirates over on the mid lane. They saw an exposed and vulnerable Beastmaster, but now it is going to be a team fight as the Spirit Breaker goes in.
And we'll see what they're going to be able to do. The dual breath are already onto Ariel now as well. We know the Macro Pyre is down. Fiend Gate comes out as well. Daze actually going to pull Lelis into this one. What are they going to be able to do? There's going to be the Pit of Mars down now. Can they get the damage down to Otaker? Otaker is going to get low. Mixer gets in with the Rolling Thunder now as well. He's going to be in that Lotus Shrine. So can they get the kill onto Otaker? They do. And now while the TP away at least from the Spirit Breaker, the Twin Gate being used as well by the Void Spirit, so they will both be away. But something that OG lineup does do that we've not really spoke about here, the Nature's Prophet as well as that Leshrac do so much... Excuse me, the Leshrac. Leshrac went for the Misanthropy. The Jakiro and the Nature's Prophet do so much tower damage that if you let a tower be open like this for 30 seconds, it's gone. It is just going to straight up disappear.
If you lose a team fight, your towers are going to fall, and that's the big drawback for 4 Pirates lineup. And I think their initiations have been a bit lackluster. They need to start things off with their Void Spirit and that Roar.
Oh, look at this one. Pedantic's going to go around as well. Ariel going to be slowed down now. Try to get the charge out into Daze. Daze, he will connect with that charge, but the pullback comes up for the rebound into the Sprout. And OG, it is 11 minutes into this game, and they've already got themselves 9 kills on the board and 3 tier 1 towers. This is the pace they need to be playing at, and absolutely hitting all the times here so far on the game for OG.
They'll have the Blink Dagger for Stormstormer. The Nature's Prophet will have that Maelstrom as well, so his farming speed is going to accelerate. Meanwhile, the tempo that OG are bringing is also going to increase, and I wonder what 4 Pirates can do, because there isn't an aura in sight for them. No Pipe, no Crimson Guard. So they have very limited options, Rob. I think, again, their initiation has to come off of a sequence built up by that Void Spirit, and then you come up with a follow-up Roar.
Oh, they're going to make a move here. Again, the rebound is going to put Lishrak right in the middle of these two heroes. The Roar will be used for Danchik. Can he get himself away to safety? Well, only for the time being here. Stormstormer looking to chase him down. The Pulse Nova coming through now as well. For Danchik, there's no neutrals to deny yourself to this time. He will go down. And again, hitting a great time and 11 kills now for the side of OG. And no response in sight for the side of 4Pirates. And this is what I was talking about in the draft here. The Underlord, the Lash, the Underlord, the Beastmaster, and the Void Spirit. 3 greedy cores here, and they are being punished out by the speed of OG.
And they're also 3 melee heroes, right?
Yeah.
So Leshrac is going to have such a good time. And 4Pirates, their chances of a comeback are dwindling because there isn't a single way that they can actually mount up some pressure on the opposite side, on the opposite tier 1 towers. They've lost that timing, as even Otakar is in trouble now.
Hitmasters go down, but there's already the Rolling Thunder out here for Mixer, so they're going to be able to hit this one out onto the Underlord. The Underlord, is he in danger? I think he is. The TP comes in from Natty now, but Otek has already gone down here. Shadow going to get the damage out, and you see Stormstorm is going to be able to rotate into this one now as well. Natty now needs to run himself away. He gets the kill onto Shad, but he will go down after the fact here, and another 4 heroes dead. OG, they are coming in like a wrecking ball, and I don't know what 4Pirates are going to do because they need another 20 minutes before they can really get anything going, and OG, I wouldn't be surprised if this game's over by the 20-minute mark.
This was a massacre in the making. They didn't realize the Stormstormer had a Blink Dagger, and they thought they could take out the Nature's Prophet, and sure, they were able to, but Shad was able to throw out the Nature's Wrath at the back of it. He was able to get a double kill even after his death, and there's no response to this Leshrac. Absolutely none. Unless you get your initiation the way that you want to initiate, and the way that OG are playing, they are very aware of the initiation abilities from 4Pirates, and they are not giving them the leeway that they need.
Yeah, and it felt like, I was back in the old school COD lobbies, going back to that Nature's Prophet, the martyrdom kill after you go down, taking just 2 players out of it. And you can see, again, even Lelis on his own, with the liquid fire coming through onto the tower, he's going to be able to chunk down. He's a siege engine of his own here. Mixer going to be able to get involved as well. This is looking so good for OG. I mean, 14 minutes into the game. We're not even looking at Roshan timings yet. We're not even looking at the Tormentor timing yet. But we're still looking at a tier 2 tower timing here for the side of OG. This tower has less than, well, it's about 200 health left here in the top lane, and this is going to be an easy target. The next team fight coming out for OG, the Nature's Prophet TP's up, or you have Stormstormer rotates up, or Lelis is going to be here. Yeah, this is the OG again that I'm used to seeing, and again, maybe that illness on the first day, again, the nerves coming through as well for the team with Lelis not being in, maybe just affected them a little bit more than than they were comfortable with. But this is OG. Yeah, this is a really good showing from OG. On the other side, 4Pirates, I would like to see them. It's a good draft, but they need to step it up. They need to find these openings, but they're going to be few and far between. And look at this one, Mixer coming in with a Rolling Thunder. Stormstormer gets another jump in. They're going to be able to get a kill onto the wall. Mr. Morale's going to go down next. Stormstormer with another double kill to his name, 8-0-7. This is what I didn't see a couple of days ago when I was watching Stormstormer. He was getting like 1-3-7 in his match. He was going like 2-2-6 or something like that. He wasn't having the high impact, but right now he is set up for success, and it really is paying off.
OG read 4Pirates completely, and that was a very desperate play coming out from 4Pirates. They thought they could have gotten the upper hand by catching OG off guard, but they had another thing coming, and no response to Stormstormer's blink in, right? You don't have an aura. And Otakar, because he's playing that carry Underlord instead of the offlane Underlord, he is going to be forced to go for items like the Echo Saber, like he already has, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's really not enough. I mean, you need your BKBs, you need additional damage items, and 4Pirates are so behind on their timing that I'm not too sure if they can find the comeback here. The 20-minute Tormentor, like you mentioned, because the tier 2 tower is so low, that Tormentor will go the way of OG. Your other tier 2 tower is very difficult to contest. Even Roshan is impossible at this stage.
Yeah, and you see the farming difference here. Like I say, even though the Underlord comes in, he's got that Demon's Reach with the cleave. He's soaking up that damage to be able to do the clear damage, but Shad already got himself the full Mjolnir coming out here. He's going to be charged out. There's going to be the Fiend's Gate now as well. Shad going to get himself away from this one. It's going to be the full ultimate thrown out from Uriel now as well. It looks like he's going to be able to get the Nature's Wrath up though. And look at this, 4-5 heroes grouping up, trying to get the kill out onto Shad. Shad will go down, but OG have an immediate response coming through. Daze trying to close that gap. Pedantic's going to get low there as well. He's ticking down to all of the spells, and Stormstormer gets a dive to the back line, finishes off the kill. Now OG are on the hunt. What are they going to be able to get from this one? Ooh, can he get through the Twin Gate here onto the Beastmaster? He does. Mr. Morale has left. That was a good setup coming through from the side of 4Pirates. You know, giving credit where it's due. They found Shad alone. They had the setup, but it was so many spells just to get the one hero that meant that even though there was 5 of them up against the 4 of OG, they didn't have the spells to carry on fighting after that pickoff came through.
It was a great return kill they found, though. It was on the highest net worth hero of the game. It was also the carry. I'm just not sure if it slows OG down at all because it's so late into the game. And look at the amount of time it actually took for Pirates to get that kill down. OG had plenty of ways to come out with the counter initiation. Unfortunately, they were a bit too slow with it. But as time goes on, those counter initiations, those responses from OG are only going to get faster.
Yeah, and we'll see here Natinello making a dive onto Lelis. Stormstormer is close here. Does he want to try and protect his teammate? He says, no, that is a you problem, my dude. He is already blinking himself back into the triangle. So, yeah, OG, they are starting to lose a couple of heroes, like you say, but the commitment that 4Pirates have to use to get this fight, the Raw comes out here onto Daze. He's a fairly tanky boy here, going to be able to use the one charge, and now the Rolling Thunder comes in as well, and this looks like it could be a great bait, mate, as Mr. Morale gets caught out, killed off Daze. He sets the trap and executes it. He even gets the credit for the kill there using the Unleash. And yeah, it's not the typical support Mercy build, which I'm used to seeing, which I say support, I use the quotation marks of BKB, Basher, you know, Blink Dagger coming out. It is going to be Yule Scepter here for the Mercy.
The use is really good against the Spirit Breaker, right? I mean, you can just throw the Spirit Breaker up into the air, cancel his charge midway, but I'm surprised the Beastmaster tried to get the kill on Daze, and Daze now even going to cancel out that smoke, but he may end up being a target there.
Yeah, 3 heroes around. I think this time he's not lucky enough to get himself out of that one. They had the instant impact there, and 4Pirates are going to be able to get the kill. And yeah, again, another one on the board, so we'll see how they're going to be able to do, because you look at the net worth, all 3 cores from the side of OG still, even with that Nature's Prophet death, he's like, what death? You know, I'm still farming up a Stormy here. With the Dragonlance coming out now, with that Mjolnir, with his the Treants being able to farm like this one, he's got a Nature's Prophet, one of the greatest stat growths and attack animations in the game as well. So he's having a whale of the time here, Shad, on this Nature's Prophet. And this is where, when the fights start to come out, if you win, again, the immediate move to another side lane from the Prophet will be able to put pressure. So if 4Pirates are taking a fight, they have to be absolutely confident they're going to be coming out at least with an even trade. Speaking of,
Natty actually finds the Astro Step out. I wonder if OG are going to commit to the chase here. They do seem like they want to.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get on top of Natty now as well. He doesn't have another Astral Step for another 5 seconds. I think 5 seconds is going to be more than long enough to get the kill. They set that one up. They want to go for more here. Mr. Morale is in 2 minds of which way to go, and now he does get caught out. And it looks like the Roll's going to be committed there, but the last of the Rolling Thunder, it does hit onto the Beastmaster. The Beastmaster slowed down by that Diff Blade here. Stormstormer, what's he going to be able to do? He's going to be taking a lot of damage. The Ice Path into the Macro Fire, and then the rebound out. It might just save Stormstormer's life. There is going to be the rock being dropped here, and he will eventually go down, but how much is it going to cost 4Pirates? It looks like it's going to be a 3-4 buyback coming through from Natty Narwhal. Natty gets a kill out onto Daze, but can he get himself away from this? And all of his escape spells are on cooldown now. He might be able to get himself out with it. Dissimulate. It's going to take a little bit of time here in the trees, but they are going to be able to find him. That's going to be a dieback on the Void Spirit. 6 heroes dead on the side of 4Pirates.
And that was a golem use, that was a buyback use. 4Pirates really thought they could counter-initiate, but again, the theme of this first game, Rob, has been sunk cost fallacy, like you mentioned out. 4Pirates just really not willing to cut their losses and call it a lost team fight. I mean, you saw Perdanic when the Void Spirit went down the first time around, and he actually went for the TP out. That was great. You need to recognize that it's a lost cause. But 4Pirates seemingly want to brute force their way into this wall, and it's just not breaking.
Yeah, don't have personal experience with it myself, but when you're banging your head against the wall, usually it's the wall that does win. So, you know, we'll see if they're able to change this one up a little bit here for Pirates. But like I say, the aura item's starting to come out now. The Beastmaster wants to go into that pipe. They want some protection. They've got the drums out onto the Spirit Breaker. There's going to be going for Shadow Blade there as well. So there is some kind of team buffs. You know, those steroids are starting to come through. Solid Crest being queued up by the Warlock as well. And again, they are starting to find the pickoffs, but are they going to be able to find them in time to maybe even this game out? Because OG 12k ahead at 21 minutes and 24 kills to their name. It's looking like an uphill, not only an uphill task, you know, this is looking like that boulder is rolling right back down every time they try and push it up the hill.
They do have a BKB for Otakar though. Now it doesn't actually cancel out the edict because the pierces it, but Stormstormer, he wants to go in.
Oh, he's gonna be right on top of Ptancic now as well. The TP comes in from the Nature's Prophet. They take down the Warlock and now miss him around with the TP. Anything to stop this one, that is Ice Path stops him from that mid TP out, and that's gonna be another 2 pickups on the side of OG. Now OG straight into that Roche pit. They've got so much damage to put onto Roche, and really, how do 4Pirates? I don't even think they try and stop this one. It's gonna be another objective around the map here for OG.
It's impossible to stop this one. OG has such a good go button, right? As soon as Stormstormer goes in, they turn up the heat from 0 to 100, and 4Pirates, they're caught with their pants down. They just have no way to actually deal out some counter initiation unless they have the full 5.
Yeah, they might be able to make a move onto Shad here. Shad was caught out, but he's going to be able to get the Sprout. There's going to be the Harpoon drag back in onto Shad now as well. Shad, he does have this Aegis if he takes too much damage. If he takes enough to take him down here, Shad, charge comes in. That's going to be the Aegis being popped. The rest of it, OG, they're making a move over. How do 4Pirates maybe even want to back themselves away from this one? Natty now has got himself the AD room. Rock's going to be dropped once again. Shad taking a lot of damage. No BKB here on the Nature's Prophet, so he is going to go down, but it's going to cost him again. Another 2 heroes at least from this one. Can he get the kill out onto Otaker now as well? Otaker is going to get low. Buyback comes through from the Spirit Breaker now, trying to get the charge out. Stormstormer pumping out so much damage. They take down Otik, and Natty now is he going to be the next one on the list here? It looks like he is. OG, they've taken down another 4 heroes. One more buyback being forced out, and that looks like it's going to be another dieback going the way of 4Pirates. OG, they lose that Nature's Prophet, and they say absolutely not. We are still taking this fight here. Look at this one. Daze trying to get the chase down onto Miss Morale. Miss Morale might be able to get himself away. The spells are on cooldown. Stormstormer, though, Split Earth comes out now. There's going to be the Swashbuckle in. Stormstormer, they get the slowdown out into the Beastmaster as well. He gets himself over the barrier, but so do the rest of OG, dragging him back outside of his base, saying, no, 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 you are going nowhere but the grave. Another team wipe. Let's call it a team wipe, because the Warlock has only just respawned, going the way of OG.
6 heroes actually, Rob. It's more than a team wipe. This time around, the Spirit Breaker also bobbed back, and he didn't even cancel the charge. It's like, if we go back to the breaking the wall reference, right? You try to fist through the wall, your hand break, but then you try to kick it, and you leave your leg broken as well. It really does seem like it's looking a bit poor. I mean, 17,000 of a network advantage at the 24-minute mark. You try to throw down everything you have, and you actually... 4Pirates came out with the best possible initiation. They were able to take out Shad from the get-go at the start of that fight, but still Stormstormer is the one hero that they can't stop, and it's not going to get any easier because he now has a BKB. He has a Sanj and Kaya, and it's impossible to actually stop him. 14, 1, and 14 on the skill feed for Stormstormer, and it's only going to go up.
Yeah, going back, 4Pirates, they're kind of running out of limbs here to throw at this potential war. You know, they're looking like Monty Python's Black Knight here. He's lost 2 legs, he's lost an arm. He's like, okay, let's call it a draw. As they get another kill, Natty Narwhal going to be taken down. And you can see that Otaker trying to run himself away to the Twin Gate, but Shad is already onto this one. The Sprout comes out through, actually self-sprouts here. He's going to be the channel out onto the Watcher. Otaker with the BKB. Do they have anything to deal with this one? They might just go through the Twin Gate with him here, because that's going to be wasting a lot of his BKB time trying to get through. There's going to be the Fiend's Gate now as well, and there's going to be nothing to stop that. So he will be away. He took the long way out, but he does eventually get himself out.
If he wanted to teleport out, why didn't he just use the Fiend's Gate from the get-go?
You know, one of those things that in the minute, I can kind of vibe with you, the panic of, oh god, how do I get myself out of here? You know, I can, you know, I've done that more than once.
Oh man, but 4Pirates, they may actually be able to find Daze, but they need to be so careful because Stormstormer is right there, and Daze is on the high ground. He sees Verdanic.
Oh, the Unleash comes out here now as well. He's giving the rebound, trying to buy himself a little bit of time. The Yule Scepter, like you say, cancels out that charge here from the Spirit Breaker. And now that global presence comes in. Both supports are going to be dead once again. Otaker, he ain't even showing his face here. He's too busy taking the Watchers. And this is going to be another opening for the side of OG. 35-8 and a 19k net worth lead coming at 26 minutes into this game. Absolutely bonkers. Although Bonkers doesn't work
Boister's
for OG anymore.
net worth, Rob, is going to be overtaken by the Jakiro soon. That is how behind Natty actually is. He just has a Spirit Vessel, and you take a look at Stormstormer's items. He has 3 whole items. He's going to have a Hex up soon by that 30-minute mark. And that's when it will be all over. I think 4Pirates are going to realize this pretty soon because there's not a whole lot of room for error left anymore. You lose another team fight, and it's going to be your high ground.
Yeah, and you can see that already. Natty now, though, can he get himself away from this one? Slowed down by the Diffusal Blade. Dissimulate comes out, trying to escape this, but you've got all 3 cores for the side of OG, and oh no, is the answer here. Shard, they get another kill onto Natty. 45 seconds on the sideline here for the mid laner. Ariel, he's going to be the next one on the chopped block. The Scepter comes out. Does he have that charge? Will the Ice Path going to stop him right in his tracks before he can even get that charge away? On the other side of the map, it looks like Pedantic as well as Mr. Morale. They might be the next ones targeted out by OG, and this is going to be another 3 heroes. Is it going to be 4? Do they find Mr. Morale once again? Otaker not too far away here from his Beastmaster 2. They're just going to march up the mid lane. It looks like it's going to be tower time here for the side of OG.
And it's a lot of space being taken away from 4Pirates, right? The walls are caving in, and they don't have any room to farm. So their heroes being this far behind, I think OG just go high ground. There's really nothing stopping them. However, on the high ground, it's going to be a different story because 4Pirates there, the golem. Oh no!
Look at that one. Perfect Ice Path into the Split Earth. Another 2 dead heroes on the side of 4Pirates here. And it is going to be a, looks like, I mean, is this a lane of Rax? It looks like it might just be here. And you can see that OG, they're having fun with it. The voice lines are starting to come out. They're starting to vibe in this match. They're starting to have a lot of fun with this one. And taking down this mid lane of Rax, you're down 2 cores on the side of 4Pirates. What is your game plan here? Because it feels like to me, it is just sit back and watch OG run over your buildings.
You only get one shot at this. They don't have a single buyback on 4Pirates, so it's going to come down to one last defense. You do have all of your ultimates up, but you're losing your Warlock.
And now Ariel might be the next one to go down too. He gets himself back to the fountain here. Natty now will span up by that Yule Scepter. Ice Path comes out. Do they have the control? Dissimulate. The rebound dives in to try and close that gap, and Natty is going to be back behind the Ancient. While this is going on though, OG just say, cool, if no one's going to defend, we're just going to take another lane from you. We're going to take this tier 3 tower, make it 2 lanes of Rax as well. 2 out of 3. It ain't bad here for the side of OG.
Really good. I mean, this is the OG that I believe a lot of fans were expecting, right? Or were hoping for. It's taken a long time, but it does seem like a team that has come really nicely together for at least this first game. And I believe they'll come out with 2 lanes of barracks, and I think 4 for 4Pirates. There isn't going to be a chance for comeback because take a look at the minute to net worth ratio.
Yeah, Stormstormer dives himself in the middle of 4 heroes. The Roar comes out onto the Pangolier. The Pangolier don't care. He's just chilling out for the next couple of minutes. They get another kill onto Ariel. The dive back as well. Pedantic's going to be taken care of. This is the final time. It's looking like it's Butch and Sundar's time coming out here for the side of 4Pirates. And with 2 heroes left, I don't think we're going to get that far. Make it 1, make it 0. Natty Narwhal calls the GG. OG in less than 30 minutes going to have game number 1 on the board.
Stormstormer ends the series with 18, 1, and 24. Shad ends it with 10, 4, and 24. Not to mention, Mixa did not die a single time, and that is a consistent performance because yesterday as well, Mixa had a great offlane performance against Passion UA. And OG, with Lelis finally back on board, it does seem like a lot of the issues that OG were having previously have been fixed, and it's 4Pirates now who are 1 game away from elimination. And I have to say, they are going to have to do some massive upgrading, some massive switch around, because their draft wasn't bad, but the gameplay, just constantly charging at OG without a solid game plan, it really was not the right move there.
No, and you can see it reflected in the score. Natty Narwhal, the only hero to get above 1 kill here for the side of 4Pirates. It really did not work out. Again, it felt like it was an incredibly greedy draft coming through. Even with the Spirit Breaker and the Warlock in there too, they like to build up some items. There was no even initial impact coming through from the side of 4Pirates, and they were just behind from the get-go. But that is only game number 1. There's a reason why it's a best of 3. Because 4Pirates, they have a chance to bring it back to a 1-1 score. OG looking for that 2-0 and moving through into the next round. But we have to play the next game. But before that, we are going to take a break. So we'll see you right after this.
waste so much time. You require 16, 17 minutes of the first of the game there just to be able to farm up that one item, which isn't all that strong. But I suppose over here for 4Pirates, they went for the Abaddon because they didn't want the hard dispel against their lasso. But that's just creating an overall hyper dependency on being able to get the initiation down at the back of that lasso. And I'm not sure if OG are going to allow that, right? You have the Tiny coming in, so you have that avalanche toss. Not only now do you have the Solar Guardian, but that instant avalanche toss as soon as you come out with that lasso. And not to mention, there's no easy lasso target available either.
Yeah, and now even if you do get the lasso, you have the disruption coming out from the Shadow Demon, so that save is there. So the Batrider, every time he tries to get into that fight, you're gonna have the the breaker coming out from the Dawnbreaker. You're gonna have that, you talked about it, the Avatos back there as well, the disruption from the Shadow Demon, the Purge to slow the Batrider down, the Purge on the Abaddon here as well. This is gonna look really, I mean, even the disruption for the Abaddon, as soon as that borrowed time gets popped, boom, you hit them with the disruption, he's displaced for 3 or 4 seconds, that borrowed time is gonna do absolutely nothing. So these are, again, OG hopefully not throwing a massive caster's curse in terms of OG's draft for them. It has been known to happen. I am a great wielder of that curse, but on the other side, 4Pirates, we'll see what the responses are going to be, because at the minute, not super impressed with the 2 heroes that they've already picked up.
Perhaps they can go for some kind of an Abaddon support, right? That for me is still a viable option, and you go for some kind of a strong carry over here. The Templar Assassin, I would say, isn't that strong of a carry in the current pool, but the Terrorblade can do pretty well. Just a natural Eye of Skadi builder to counter out the healing coming out from the Solar Guardian. Not to mention, even if you come out with the counter rotation to the Solar Guardian, you have that Sunder. But Rob, take over the Pudge.
There is a Pudge on the field here, so we are going to get displacement after displacement after displacement. I saw this, was it actually, let me check. I think it was, I know I've seen it a couple of days ago. Who was it that was running it? Let me go over the matches that I was casting.
It was Mouse versus Liga, I believe, in that game number 1.
It was, yeah, and it looked okay, in the lane. It wasn't just the case of, the average pub star Pudge that likes to sit in the trees and so that XP was having an okay time. But again, you do kind of put yourself in a position that if you get that hook off, if it's not on the Dawnbreaker, you're going to find the Dawnbreaker in your face very, very soon here. The Disruptor comes out, so that is going to be one of the counters that you were talking about, that glimpsed out, really nicely played up against the Dawnbreaker. But yeah, for me, if you get a good dive hero coming through for OG that can follow up on anyone that gets Pudge hooked, this is going to be a real rough fight, I think, for the side of 4Pirates.
And with this Disruptor pick, that also means that it's either going to be a core Pudge or an Abaddon carry. And sure, the core Pudge with that Aghanim Scepter can counter out a lot of the healing. The Shadow Demon's illusions coming out from the Disruption isn't going to be there either, but it's still tricky because you have that Tiny. So you're not, regardless of the position of the Pudge, you're not really going to have that solid dismember. And OG, they're just going to go for the Swen. So they are actually saying that even if you lasso us down, even if the Pudge dismembers us, that one cleave coming in from Shad is going to break through.
Yeah, this is going to be... So the one little monologue I always have about the Sven is the Sven needs a little bit of time to build up. It's not going to be like Shad on that Nature's Prophet. In the last game, you do kind of want to go Mask of Madness into the Echo Saber, then Blink, BKB, Harpoon, blah 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 blah. But it does, when you have that God Strength, the timing of the God Strength up, it is a really nice one. You get like a 30-second window. You can jump in, you can take a fight with your team, and then go back to farming. And it is, again, a really nice hero. It's 3 tanky heroes on the side of OG. The Pudge, if you hook any of these 3 heroes, Shadow Demon can self-destruct there as well. It's going to take time to get through, even with that Dismember. Where's the damage coming from for the rest of 4Pirates?
I think you need a DB right now. I think you need a solid late game carry because, as you mentioned, no solid hook target. I mean, if you hook the Tiny, he can just toss you to the other side.
Yeah.
If you hook just the Swen, he just stuns you down. And if it's not the Dawnbreaker getting hooked, then he can actually come in with the Solar Guardian. So right now, 4Pirates, they are on the back foot. And I think you need a solid carry over here if you want to be winning this game. And if you go for that solid carry, you will have to play this Pudge as a mid lane hero. And then that means that OG, their Stormstormer, is going to have such an amazing time because you have the spirits available. The Ember is banned, and I do expect the Storm Spirit to be banned out, but Stormstormer has quite the, I would say, versatile hero pool. We even saw him play with the Dragon Knight last game, and the Dragon Knight on this pool right now for OG doesn't look all that bad. It actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, and a hero that Stormstormer, you're famous for there as well. The Invoker is still there. I think in this specific scenario, it's really nice. You get the tornadoes out that can follow up anyone that gets hooked in. You have the EMPs. You just have so much AOE that you have the control on the rest of OG. So yeah, being able to get those utility spells out will have a massive impact. We see the M Spirit, we see the Void Spirit being banned out. Like I say, Storm Spirit is still there. That dive in with the ball lightning going to be incredibly effective at chasing down both the Bat Rider and the Pudge Hook. So, and then if there is a Storm Spirit, like I said, the Disruptor can only glimpse one player back. Who's it going to be? Dawnbreaker, Storm, Tiny? Like I say, it is going to be a big choice here for all the players on the side of 4Pirates. So we'll see how 4Pirates, what that final pick is going to be. But at the minute, it is OG's turn, so we'll see. Are they going to lock in that Storm Spirit here? The Invoker, maybe potentially, like I say, that Dragon Knight that could follow up another big tanky boy. And what is the pick going to be for OG here? A little bit of time left. 13 seconds of reserve time, so they've got some time to think. See what his final pick is going to be. There it is. Stormstormer gets his Invoker on the board.
I think this was, as you mentioned, the Invoker. I think this is a much better pick than the Storm Spirit, because you also have the setup for the Sunstrike, right? Yeah. Coming in from that disruption. And not to mention, you can even set up for the Cataclysm. And we saw yesterday, I believe OG played the Invoker. No, it wasn't yesterday. I believe it was in a previous game where you had a Quas Vex Invoker coming out. It really seems like regardless of the build coming out from this Invoker, which facet he goes for, it's all going to work out. I mean, you ban the mana away from the Pudge, he's essentially becomes useless. The Pudge, they can't dismember, doesn't do anything in the team fight, right? And then you control the rest. They have the damage, they have the control, and 4Pirates, they will come out with one of the only heroes that can actually deal against the control. It is a Lifestealer, but it's a Rob, my big question is, are they going to have the damage? You brought up that fair point earlier, and right now it doesn't seem like they'll be able to, because Lifestealer has one of the lowest base damages in the game.
Yeah, we'll see what the play is going to be here. If the Lifestealer is going to get that time, I think RABOTYAGI should get a bit of a better window, because the Sven needs to farm up a little bit, so the Lifestealer is going to be able to find that farmer here as well. Whether it's going to be that armor into the Radiance build that the Lifestealer likes to go for in the current meta, it is a question that needs to be asked from RABOTYAGI. But yeah, if you look at what they're going to be able to do in terms of putting Natty now on the Pudge, for the first few levels, the Invoker, if this is going to be the immediate hook rot combo coming off the Pudge, for the first couple levels, big if here, if you can find the hooks on the Invoker will struggle a little bit if he gets hooked out. But all you really need to do, you sit in that creep wave, you make it really hard for these angles to be found for the hook. So Stormstormer, again, if you can weather that first 3 or 4 levels on the Pudge, should be able to turn this lane in his favor, and that's without rotations from the supports too.
And there's a lot of supports that can actually rotate from both of these sides, right? Lelis, if he's good enough with his TP, or rather fast enough with his TP, can stop the Pudge from actually coming out ahead, even if he finds the hook. But meanwhile, on the other side, you have Pradanic, who on the Disruptor can make sure that OG don't bring in the support for Stormstormer to survive. Yep. So I think it's going to be on that mid lane. I think a lot of the tempo that 4Pirates are looking to generate has to come off at the back of that Pudge, because you take a look at their side lanes, and as you mentioned that point about the Swen, the timing window will require quite a bit of farm. It's there for 4Pirates too, because the Lifestealer will need farm, and so will this offlane Abaddon. And I wonder what itemization they're going to be going for, because a double Radiance surely isn't going to be the right way to go about it. So we may actually see some auras coming out from Mr. Morales.
Yeah, I would like to see a pipe there, maybe, like you said, the Crimson Guard coming through, even just getting yourselves into a position where you can get yourself, maybe even rush up that Harpoon, so you have some initiation coming through here. But we'll keep an eye. We'll see what the builds are going to be here for the Abaddon, because that's going to be 10-15 minutes down the line. We do have a little bit more to look at now. Going to be the Dawnbreaker illusions will pop in just before they cross the river, but the wards down from 4Pirates already in that safe part of the map. Both wards going to be on their side, so we'll see how OG want to try and do. And again, the late smoke's coming out. Are they going to try and either team look for a fight for this one? Nobody breaking off from the side of OG just yet, so maybe looking to try and make that 4-5 man rotation to the rune spot, get a first blood on the board.
They will need to be careful though, because if you get hooked in by 4Pirates, you are going to die. At the same time, the Lifestealer has the raid, so he's not going to be susceptible to any kind of a gank. But I think OG are going to recognize the potential of the hook there, and they are going to be playing it a bit safe.
Yeah, and 4 Pirates did get 3 of the 4 bounty runes in that last game, so we'll see how it's going to go into this one. It looks like Pudge going to come down. The hook is going to be here. Hook's out Daze, so one of the tankier heroes on the side of OG, he just shrugs it off, just walks himself back into the river. There is going to be another 3 bounties, though, going the way of 4 Pirates, so we'll see if that's going to work out for them better this time around.
They do have an aggressive observer ward over on the opposite side of the river. So they see Stormer. It's actually going to give them quite a bit of vision. I think they are trying to set up for the hook. At the same time, these defensive wards, or rather, no, sorry, my bad. It was OG with a defensive ward there. So they don't actually see Stormer on that high ground.
Yeah, looking at it, it's going to be okay. Sunstrike Velocity here now as well. Natty, he did go for that hook level 1, trying to get the hook in onto the rune. Again, nobody around to try and capitalize on that one. So it isn't going to be the Rot, not going to be able to do that one point blank up against Stormstormer just yet. And Stormstormer, like you say, he did go in for the Exhort. So it's going to be the Quas Exhort build coming through here as we do get Mixer trying to put a little bit of aggression out onto the lifesteal here with that Starbreaker. But again, Ghoul Frenzy is out for the lifestealer, so the move speed, the attack speed coming through, he can more than trade off against Mixer 1v1 in the lane in these early stages.
I think this lifestealer is going to have a good time because he's against 2 strength-based heroes. So once you have some more levels, particularly in the open wounds, ooh, Mixer disrupted, glimpse back to his tower. But it's this Disruptor who need to be careful.
Yeah, oh, I mean, look at this one. Otaker, though, is going to get low. The Blood Grenade does come out here as well. Otaker might be able to pull himself back. Mixer was Blood Grenaded there, too. No regen out for the Dawnbreaker. Otaker going to have that Feast, going to have that Lifesteal available, as well as one Tango, a Fairy Fire, too. So Otaker might come up just a little bit better as Daze, having to commit some of his own regen towards this Dawnbreaker.
He's trying to go for the Sunstrike, just not going to be enough damage because he expected it. Otaker actually used the Fairy Fire to heal up.
Yeah, really well played though. Good coordination from the side of OG to try and make a play like this happen. Meanwhile, Mr. Morale, he is going to be disrupted. Natty, how's he looking in the mid lane? Finding these last hits for now, yeah, the Rot does really help him with that there as well. He did go for the Rotten Core facet, which means that, you know, the more he's got that Rot going, the more damage he's going to do on his right clicks. And Natty, yeah, just trying to get the hooks on it. I don't know if that was trying to get onto Stormstormer, if he thought Stormstormer would right click the creep and that hook would go through, but it is going to be a pullback and a deny here for Natty Narwhal.
Even on the top lane, OG's and this is a lane where Shad is going to have a worse time compared to the counterpart Lifestealer. I mean, you have a Batrider who is really good at actually pushing out, or rather zoning out the carries here, and you have that Aphotic Shield coming in. So for 4 Pirates, this is looking to be an aggressive lane, and if they are able to get at least a kill off on the Swen, they are going to be on the good start because they are playing against the clock here.
Yeah, and there is going to be that Stormhammer coming out into the disruption here. So, like you say, Sven, I mean, I suppose the good thing with the Sven, excuse me, with the Sven is level 4, level 5. You're going to have a couple of points in those cleaves. You aren't as dependent on a lane as a lot of carries. You can dip yourself into that jungle. And Lelis, the Shadow Demon are one of the best supports at making stacks here. So I think that's what they're aiming for. They just have to kind of weather the storm in the lane till around that level 4, level 5 for the Sven. And then Shad, he's going to be able to go through and get stacks on stacks on stacks in that jungle.
So far, though, no stacks being built up quite just yet. I suppose they want to get through the laning phase in one piece before they go for the stacks, because as soon as you disappear on one of your heroes and 4 Pirates know you're not there, they can potentially go for a way in, right?
Yeah.
You have the Glimpse at the ready from the Disruptor, and you have the Firefly on their Batrider, so OG need to have a strong presence in these lanes, in all 3 of these lanes.
And what are you looking at in terms of the start of... So we've seen that Shad, being pressured out. Is there a lane that OG should be looking to exert pressure on? You can see that Stormstormer stepping up across the river here in the mid lane. The hook comes through onto a creep. Is this where you think OG should be focusing their efforts once that kind of, the rotations start to come out for them?
I'm not actually sure where they can rotate in. Even towards the top lane, we have First Blood being drawn by Ariel.
Yeah, Lelis is going to go down here. There is going to be that Sunstrike coming out onto Ariel. 2 days. TP'd himself up here to try and protect his teammates, but Lelis, like you say, will fall. Ariel takes a tower shot from that one. Going to be able to shrug it off, had the heal from the wand, and it's not going to be enough to put him in kill range. While that's going on, it does mean it's a 2v1. So the Dawnbreaker in the bottom lane here, you see the Mixer already taking a lot of damage. Got to be careful while his support hero is missing from the lane.
And this is the problem for OG, Rob. I mean, you go for the TP on that tiny towards the top side, immediately 4Pirates start to pressure this Dawnbreaker, right? If the Shadow Demon disappears from the top lane, they will pressure the Swen. So OG are very much forced to play this conservatively because you can't actually rotate, and that's where 4Pirates have the advantage, and I think they need to increase the tempo. Similar to game number 1 where you had this requirement for OG to play fast and furious, I think 4Pirates have much of the same requirement for them.
Yeah, I think OG, they could be in trouble here. Shad, can he get himself away from this one? And it's going to be enough to get himself back to the tier 1 tower. And a Shadow Poison coming through for Lelis now as well. So Ariel got to be careful in the bottom lane now as well. Mixer gets low. The Avatars, but there's going to be the glimpse. And he's trying to get the jump away to the hammer. Mixer just barely gets away to safety. Padanchik's going to get low from this one as well. Daze Sunstrike. Padanchik's not going to walk himself in, so Daze is going to go down. Another kill on the board here for the side of 4Pirates. And yeah, for all the aggression they felt in that last game, it looks like Padanchik, he's trying to get into some good positions, trying to make things happen, and it's working here. 2 kills in 5 minutes. That's an okay start, really good start as a response to the last game for the side of 4Pirates.
And you take a look at the last hits, the 3 cores from 4Pirates are leading a last hit chart, so they are doing a good job at zoning out that Dawnbreaker too. And Natty's even going to find himself a regeneration rune on that mid lane because OG weren't able to bring their 2 supports to contest that power rune, but you only have the one Lelis, and now you have that hook.
Yeah, can they get the kill into Stormstorm? And Stormstorm is going to try and walk himself away. Daze is going to be here, though. The cold snap coming out to Natty now. Well, Natty can get himself away. The Sunstrike, it might just connect. It will. Stormstormer gets the first kill on the board between the 2 mid laners. That's going to be a really nice play. He did cost rotation, so like you say, Shad going to be put under pressure now. Gets himself back underneath the tier 1 tower. Ariel, the TP away from the Sven is in time. It's just not enough. He burns down in the fountain. Ariel taking tower shots, but Mr. Morale and that Fairy Fire will keep the Backriders safe. That is just so unlucky here. The Sunstrike Stormstormer, he hits that from a distance, the no scope across the map.
And this might actually open up the Shrine of Wisdom, but it's another hook.
Yeah, I think that was a glimpse back there as well from the Disruptor to set up the point blank hook. You see, Oteka rotates over to the Shrine of Wisdom, just making sure that they can secure it for their team. But it is going to put him out of the lane for a few minutes here, just a minute or so. So it opens up for Mixer to get some farm back, maybe hit a quicker 6. While the safety of the farm is here for him in the lane.
There's a lot of heroes over on this top side. And there's a Shadow Demon behind this duo of 4Pirates.
Yeah, and look at this one, the Infest coming through, so it's going to be Ancient Granite Golem now as well. There's going to be another death. A Tiny will be glimpsed back to his doom. And this is 4Pirates again. Great response coming through here. I think OG, they kind of recognized it in the draft. They needed to go for a little bit of a later game. Less aggression in the early stages, and 4Pirates really making it count with the early rotations, the early ganks.
So far, though, Natty hasn't actually been the one to rotate away. I wonder how well this will work out, because with the Pudge, you can get an easy kill on the melee cores of OG, right? It's so hard actually hooking Stormstormer, but now it seems like they're bringing in the rotations on this mid lane.
And Stormstormer immediately just backs himself away. He's got Lelis here with the Invis rune, so he's going to be providing that safety buffer. They know there's a sentry down here, though. Lelis can be spotted out. The disruption comes through now as well. Do they want to go Stormstormer with the Sunstrike as well? Ariel just a little bit too quick off the mark here. Lelis, can he move himself forward? He's going to be in danger now. It looks like Ariel might be able to get that kill. Glimpse comes through right into the Firefly. Lelis will go down. Ariel, there's going to be the Ice Wall being dropped, so Stormstormer gets the immediate response, but that was just a little bit of missed timing there on the Sunstrike to try and get the kill on the Batrider from that disruption.
I think they would have been able to get the kill if they were able to match that Sunstrike with the disruption, but it was just a 1-for-1. I don't think this hurts OG all that much, but what will hurt 4Pirates is if they don't start to make moves with this Pudge. There are 2 ways you can play the core Pudge. You either farm up for the Scepter or you go for the pickoffs, but I think this is the game where you really do need to be safe making those pickoffs.
Yeah, we see there's another Sunstrike coming out. There's a bit of borrowed time here for Mr. Morale. Just don't, he looks like he's okay. There's going to be the borrowed time coming out for Mr. Morale. It just does proc. He's going to walk underneath the tower to try and get as much health back as possible. Lelis going to be taking a lot of punishment here, though. But Anchik falls down to Stormstormer. Lelis takes down Mr. Morale. It's only going to cost them Lelis here as Oteka makes another rotation, which frees up the Dawnbreaker to hit that level 6. It is available now if a fight breaks out like this one. Dawnbreaker, we're going to throw the Solar Guard, and there's going to be the Cold Snap coming out. Natty Narwhal can't get out of danger here in time. Ice Wall gets dropped. Daze gets low, but it looks like he's not going to go down just yet. One more right click from Uriel. It's going to be... no, Mixer just needs to find the vision. Will finally get it off. Daze will fall, but it puts Pedantic in danger because Stormstormer wants to go for the chase down here. Pedantic, Cold Snap out on the Disruptor. He might just be far enough away. The 4Pirates chasing him down, but it won't be enough to get the kill out onto the Disruptor.
That's the problem with the Solar Guardian, Rob. Once it comes out, you have no option but to run. And 4Pirates in that narrow corridor couldn't run very far. I mean, even the Firefly ticking out at that last second, he couldn't get to the high ground that enabled OG to get all of these kills and has enabled their Swen to farm up, as well as that Dawnbreaker. 4Pirates are actually easing up on the pressure, and this is really going to hurt them. They had a 3,000 net worth advantage a few minutes ago, but now it's in favor of OG.
Yeah, and you can see the Sven, he's going to have that Mask of Madness coming out now, so that's going to really amp up his farm speed. Stormstormer trying to get away from this one. Natty, does he have a point-blank hook coming out? Yeah, Stormstormer going to be hit. It's going to be Dismember with 3 heroes around. This is going to be Stormstormer. No way out of this one. He just couldn't. I mean, he walked the line, got dragged back in for it. So that's a really nice rotation here. And again, 4Pirates looking a lot more responsive in the second game. They're going to try and match OG kill for kill. And at the minute, they are coming out ahead. So, yep, net worth lead going the way of OG. You're going to have the Sven farming up. You have the Hand of Midas out for the Invoker. But as long as 4Pirates can keep up this pace, they're going to keep themselves in the series.
That was a great kill. I mean, it was perhaps the most valuable kill you can get. It was on Stormstormer, and if you are able to disable the Invoker, you're going to be disabling a lot of the control that OG are going to be bringing in. So far, though, 4Pirates haven't been able to mount up a lot of pressure. They will open up things quite a bit at the back of Mr. Morales being able to take down a tier 1 tower. So now they have access to the jungle. If they are able to take the mid lane tier 1 tower away from OG, then they can look towards securing the enemy jungle and perhaps making moves there.
Yeah, and look at this one as well. The Pudge with the farm. Going to be able to take down a couple of the ancient stacks here, so getting his net worth up on the board. You were talking about it. He is going to go towards that Scepter. Going to be gold-wise about... after this stack, about halfway there, but he's got to be careful about playing around with this such low health. You know, if they do get Vision 1 good, Sunstrike could finish him off. Speaking of, Day's going to be dragged back, though, in the mid lane. Do they want to try and fight this one out? It looks like it was just to try and pull them away from the rune in the river. Set this one up so the Pudge can bottle it. Yeah, even throws the hook out to make it extra safe for Natty Narwhal. Shad finding the farm in the top lane. Going to be third in the net worth. A little bit behind this Lifestealer now, who isn't too far away from that Radiance, though.
It's a pretty good timing for the Radiance. I mean, he'll have it by that 14 to 15 minute mark. It is an average timing, but all things considered, when you consider the fact that the Swen isn't doing as well as OG would have thought, if they're hitting their timings, the big question will be what Abaddon is actually making. He has the Holy Locket and has queued himself up a Drum of Endurance, so they're actually not going for the protective auras. They're actually going for the aggressive auras.
Yeah, and we'll see how much that's going to pay off here. So yeah, you see the Mr. Morale on that Abaddon playing the field medic here with the Holy Locket. Like you say, the drums is going to be able to step up even more damage. You know, just even more speed for the side of 4Pirates, which they aren't really lacking. Lifestealer is underneath a ward though, just being spotted out Burley on O-Taker. The rotation though not coming through from Stormstormer. So just keeping an eye on their enemy, but not actually trying to take a fight. OG, just making sure that have as much information as possible. Daze could be in a little bit of trouble. Smoke rotation coming through for the side of 4Pirates. And is it going to be the Sven? Because again, the Sven going to be seen underneath that ward here. So Shad, got to be careful about hooks. TP coming in from Stormstormer now as well. He might try and fight that one. That hook just barely doesn't clip Shad. Needs a bigger hitbox. You know, if he was buffed up with that God Strength, then maybe, you know, the muscles were there. Maybe he drags him in. But at the minute, Shad just barely escapes the hook in.
But it's Lilith, Rob, who's going to get caught out.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get the Solar Guardian off now as well, though. There's going to be the Disruption Field coming through here with the Kinetic Field out from Pedantic. Can they get the fight out? Double Storm Hammer comes through, and the drive back on the Dawnbreaker there as well. You were talking about that glimpse. It is going to be effective there. So they get the kill onto Lelis. Some big spells being spelled from the side of OG and 4Pirates, and now they're going to be able to get this member out onto Tiny. Tiny with the tossback, though. It's not going to be able to do anything, and O-Taker gets another kill on the board. So OG just slowed down a little bit in this game, and 4Pirates find their opportunity to pounce, making it count.
If they want to use the Solar Guardian to counter-initiate, they need to bring in more numbers, because just the two are not enough. And you didn't have the God Strength available for Shad. He didn't pop it in for that fight, so they couldn't actually go in. But the biggest but the biggest reason why OG couldn't fight is because Stormstormer wasn't ready on that Invoker. They need control in those team fights because 4Pirates in the early to mid game have all the control. Verdanic just sends the Dawnbreaker back, and this kinetic field able to hold everyone in from OG. You have a Dismember, you have the Batrider, who doesn't have a Blink Dagger up yet. He will have it now, and this is when things are going to turn pretty hot for OG.
Yeah, and we'll see if they're going to be able to keep up the pace on the side of 4Pirates, because I think with the way it's going, they're going to have a good Roche time, and they're going to have a great Tormentor in the next few minutes if OG don't contest. So, they have an okay time pushing towers. They've already taken 2 out of the 3 tier 1s. But at the minute, the space they are being given, like you say, Lifestealer, he starts to hit like a truck, especially when he has those drums for the extra speed up. When he has he's going to be going for the Sanjin Yasha here too. He's going to be able to chase heroes down. And it's not even going to, it's going to be like a slasher film, right? You see the Lifestealer over the shoulder, and the gap gets smaller and smaller and smaller until he's going to be right on top of them. So how are OG going to try and deal with this one? Lelis gets that disruption out onto O-Taker. The Purge coming through now as well. Do they want to try and fight? There's no one more heroes around here. Maybe that's just Lelis throwing a bit of posturing out onto the Lifestealer, but the Lifestealer not really in any danger there whatsoever.
I think they just want to slow down this Lifestealer's farm, because I think OG recognized that if Swen farms up, he's going to be stronger.
Well, they get the kill onto Ariel, so maybe a bit of misdirection coming through from the side of OG. They get the kill onto Ariel. Natty Noel gets himself the AD rune here as well. I think he's close. Is that the Ag Scepter being flown into him? I think it is complete, yeah, on the courier now. So this might be another good time in days. Gonna be linked back. The hook's gonna be off the mark, though. Avalanche, it stops the Pudge from walking up. Not gonna be able to get the Dismember off. Already throwing the hook out.
They do have the Static Storm. Everyone on this side has all of their ultimates up, but on the other side you do have that Solar Guardian, and I think for OG, they need to be waiting out the Static Storm and the Glimpse before they bring in this Dawnbreaker. It really doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get it unless he picks up a shard. So I think it's either wait out the Glimpse or pick yourself up a shard, because that upgraded Starbreaker is able to counter the Glimpse if you're able to use it correctly. But right now, it's 4Pirates haven't made use of their Blink Dagger. They tried, but it ended up turning it ended up with Ariel dying, actually.
Yeah, that wasn't the reveal that they were hoping for. I do like the Pudge Ags, like you were talking about. The straight pickup on that, because it does mean that the Rot is going to have the health restoration reduction. You have 20% on that, which means that the Solar Guardian isn't going to be as effective. Excuse me, but it's going to be the Axe counter on the Axe counter here, because Dawnbreaker, queuing that one up as the first big item and not too far away, about 200 gold from picking up. So Mixer, in fact, might have it after these stacks come out. Stormstormer, where's he looking here? Gotta be careful, not the most health, and not the highest health hero in the world anyway on this Invoker. There's a few heroes around from 4Pirates, so Stormstormer just having to play it a little bit safer.
You have the Paris up now for the Abaddon, as well as the Drums of Endurance and the Holy Locket. So I think 4Pirates should just look to group up. You have the Scepter, you have the Blink. It really does seem like 4Pirates, they have hit their key item timings for at least this early mid game, and they should stack up, go for some of those tier 2s, or maybe even pressure some of these heroes here, because Shad has been free farming for the past several minutes now, and he is going to be a very big problem for 4Pirates if they're not careful. I mean, he has the Echo Saber alongside the Mask of Madness.
Here we go, Cataclysm coming out. That's the reveal of the Cataclysm now as well. They get the kill out onto O-Taker. Really good reveal. Mix is the one that gets the credit for the kill. Shad with a shield rune now as well. This is a big opening with no lifestealer for the side of OG. What do they want to try and do with this?
They can't fight without their Lifestealer, surely not.
And they're going to be cut off at the pass here. Natty now are going to try and run in. This Dismember comes out onto Daze. Shad doesn't have that BKB just yet, so he is going to be glimpsed back. The toss comes through the Natty now. Lelis, does he have the disruption? He's going to be up in 1 second. Is he going to be dead before that comes up? Self-disrupts now, so there's going to be the God Strength coming out from Shad. Tornado. Natty now gets a kill out onto Lelis. Pedantic caught out on the cliff, and it looks like they're going to be able to get a kill. Natty now, the lasso here onto Shad, just trying to waste some of that God Strength time here, but Ariel, does he put himself in the firing line? Mixer going to be dragged back. Pedantic trying to do what he can with that wall coming out. Mr. Morale going to be getting low now as well. Has that borrowed time if he needs it. The borrowed time. No, it was on cooldown. I didn't see it being procced already. Mixer chase down O-Taker is going to be in this fight. He gets the Dismember out. He gets, excuse me, not the Dismember, the Infest with the open wounds, and that is going to cost the Mixer So, not the cleanest fight for OG. Ariel doesn't have that lasso onto Shad, but it is going to be a 2-for-2-ish in terms of... If we're going to go the overall, it's going to be a 3-for-3, might even be a 3-for-4 in terms of OG's favor. But yeah, OG starting to show a bit more fight in this game now once these items are on board. Daze could have been in a little bit of trouble. The open wounds comes out from O-Taker, nothing to save him here. He's try and go for the toss, but the rage here for O-Taker means it's only a creep that gets tossed back, and O-Taker gets another kill out onto Daze.
All things considered, that went a lot better for 4Pirates than I was expecting, because Otaker wasn't there for the majority of that team fight. He did come in towards the later end, but OG, despite of having a lot more control, it's surprising that they weren't able to actually box 4Pirates in. That God Strength was only revealed on Natty, and he was able to get a kill there, move up to the high ground, and able to get a kill on the Disruptor. But I think OG need to play a bit more consolidated, play with their Invoker, have their Shadow Demon at that backline. I'm not too sure what he was doing there playing so aggressive, because you already do have the Initiators, right? You have the Tiny that can go in with the Blink, your Swen can be positioned towards the front line, and Mixa has a Scepter. So you will have the initiation you want. I think your supports need to be more patient.
Yeah, I think it's going to hinge on the BKBs coming up for OG, because the displacement, the replacement, let's call it here, is you get another kill onto Ariel. We're just so on point. The positioning for the side of 4Pirates, the kinetic fields, the drag back with the glimpse, the lasso, the pudge hook there as well. It was just so well played to make this fight drawn out as long as possible for O-Taker to get back alive and get back into it. And that's what, like you say, that's exactly what he did. He was in, he got kills, he had some pressure. And OG, without those BKBs, were just too crowd controlled in that fight. So I think Shad's already mostly towards in fact, he's just picked his BKB up. Like I say, that shard for Mixer will be a nice pickup. In fact, just going to go straight BKB for the Dawnbreaker here there as well. And that's going to be when you see the OG fights be a little bit more effective, because they are being crowd controlled here the past couple of engagements.
I think they're going to have a much better time now that they have the BKB on the Swen, and you also have an Aegis. So 4Pirates, I think they're not going to have much of a choice. They will have to wait this out. They will have to avoid fights, perhaps even give up some of their tier 2 towers, because the power spike from the Lightstealer isn't that strong, and not to mention Natty with the Scepter isn't going to be doing anything to that Swen when you have that BKB online. And not to mention, like you said, Mixer with the BKB as well, right? Those are huge power spikes coming up from OG. And 4Pirates, I'm afraid they don't have a lot of room here. I mean, against an Aegis, if you wait these next 5 minutes, which you should, OG are going to be a lot stronger, because they'll have all the farm in the world. They also can move in towards the opposing side's jungle. It really feels like their lineup is coming together nicely.
Yeah, and just to rub it in a little bit, they did go for the Tormentor on the side of 4Pirates, and it was the Batrider that got the shard. I think one of the worst, if not probably the worst shard in the game you can get from the Tormentor.
Oh, man. I mean, the Disruptor getting it would have been so much better, right? Because you can throw the Thunder Strike down onto a ground. It's a ground targeted ability once you have that shard up. So then you get that information, maybe even an additional way to find the glimpse. But OG are on the prowl and they are hunting. And at least they'll be able to pick up a tier 1 tower for their trouble, if nothing else.
Yeah, O-Taker's got to be careful here. He's inside that golem, and are they going to try and make a... No, they're not even going to... Okay, so this is a bit of push-pull coming out from the side of OG. Smoke coming out from the side of 4Pirates, but you can see that OG, they've got to smoke themselves, and they've already backed themselves away. Chad, smoke breaks here. Did you want to try and go? There could be the Stormhammer coming out with the Godstrength. Look at this one, just deletes Mr. Morale's health pool now as well. Not use that BKB because he just had the Aegis. Lelis on the low ground though. Do you want to try and get in? Help the teammate out. O-Taker, he's just waiting menacingly that Lelis to come out of that disruption. The blink comes in. Stormhammer once again. There's going to be the Solar Guardian coming through. There is going to be that ultimate coming out from the Disruptor. It doesn't really matter though. Dismember trying to do what he can. Chad again. He has the Aegis, so he doesn't even need to pop the BKB. Stormhammer comes out onto O-Taker. O-Taker going to be chased down. Can they get the kill onto the Pudge? The Pudge going to be stopped on that TP with the Avalanche out really nicely to try and change objectives here. And that's going to be... Was that the BKB used? It was here. Mr. Morale going to be chased down. He's already used that borrowed time. O-Taker stops to farm. They have got to be careful they don't get caught out. Ariel on the high ground here with a Firefly, but Daze is hunting, has that Blink Dagger back up. He's got the Avatos combo there as well. He's just going to be the bodyguard to make sure they can get a tier 1 tower from this one. They don't spend an Aegis, they spend the level 9, excuse me, the 9-second BKB, never mind, level 9. 9-second BKB for the Sven. But they get a good couple of kills and an objective from this on the side of OG.
And we really saw the weakness of the Pudge Scepter against the BKB, right? Just unable to actually do much, or if anything at all. And OG just simply capitalized. Once again, they're going to go in, Rob.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get another kill to the Disruptor. The Glimpse comes out, but he goes down first here. Daze might go down in return, but that's going to be more from it. In fact, they're going to be able to get the kill onto Aerial with this meatball flying across him here. The Bat Rider needs the shield, needs that protection coming out from the Abaddon. I think that was the Holy Locket they used as well to keep Aerial somewhat healthy. But you can see OG starting to spring these traps now, starting to come into their own, and starting to have the momentum on the backs. 5k net worth lead, only 1 kill behind, 25 minutes into this game.
4Pirates are once again staring at the wall, and I hope they don't start trying to ram their way in, because these forced engagements from their side really don't work out. You need your lasso online if you want to be fighting. You need your static storm as well, and just running at the other side isn't going to be good enough, because OG have those global spells. You have the Sunstrike and the Cataclysm. You have the BKB. You have the Aegis. You have so much to fight with.
You have well, it's not a dead Natty Narwhal yet. He's going to be forced to pop his own BKB. The Sven comes in, though. Doesn't have the God Strength used just yet. And the hook, it connects to a creep, and now the God Strength comes out. And again, still got the Aegis for another 40 seconds on Shad. So Shad looking to spend this one. O-Taker, the Rage is going to be here. It's going to be wearing off in a second or so. Do you want to carry on fighting this one out? And it looks like the BKB came out from that Sven Aegis, so it's going to give him some regen back. Cataclysm thrown out. Not even really needed. Those heroes were dead first. And Shad picking them up. Disruption through the borrowed time. So Mr. Morale's going to be coming back with no safety net. He is dead and buried, and they look like they want to take another tier 2. In fact, look at this one. The cold snap into the tornado. Disrupt is going to be the next one on the chopping block. Infest going to keep him alive a little bit longer, but that's going to be the avalanche coming through, and it keeps O-Taker in the place. So with a kinetic field static storm, that Aegis will pop. Buyback comes through from Mr. Morale as well. Daze, he's not going to go down just yet. It's going to be the disruption that keeps him alive, and now the force snap away. Stormhammer out on the lifesteal. Lifesteal has that rage up in 3 seconds. Oh, Shad, does he want to try and stand his ground with this one? Mr. Morale, you've got to realize this is a dieback if he goes down. Shad trying to run himself away. Jump forward. It's going to be the offensive, Infest coming through here. Mixer might go down to the neutral. That open wounds. Okay, no. It's going to be protected up by Lelis.
He might actually get chased down here if he's not careful. No, he'll be able to walk away, but that was an expensive engagement for 4Pirates. I mean, they had to go for the buyback.
Yeah.
But they still ended up losing 4 heroes for it, because the Pudge chose to go in an overzealous way and was forced to activate his BKB much earlier on. And when you saw Aerial go in for the lasso, coincidentally, that's the exact same time that the Swen went in. And all that happened was Aerial got cleaved down in half.
It was pretty darn rough, and this is going to get so much better for Shad. He is about 600 gold, 650 gold away from the Daedalus. You thought God Strength was bad? You thought the damage of the Sven was output? Wait until these 1,000 damage crits start to come out in these fights as well. Heroes, they're just going to disappear. Speaking of disappearing, though, Aerial has the lifestealer infesting him. He's going to be able to get the lasso out onto the Dawnbreaker. The tornado comes through, though the Rage is here for the lifestealer. It's going to be the Solar Guardian being cast out by Mixer. They turn this one around. They lose Aerial. They lose Padanchik. They might even lose Mr. Morale again. He has that borrowed tag coming through, but there's so much control and no magic protection, no magic immunity here for the Abaddon. The Abaddon's got that TP. Is it going to be in time? He couldn't even get it off. He's straight up dead. No-Taker has to run himself away from this one. The Pudge is already away too. This is another big opening for the side of OG.
4Pirates, they chose the worst possible target to go on, because Mix's BKB has been here for quite a while. It's now down to about a 7-second BKB. And what is your contingency? What stops Mixer from just popping that BKB and using the Solar Guardian on their ally? He could have exited the fight, but OG, they saw the perfect opportunity to actually turn it around, and they just dropped down the Cataclysm. The 4Pirates lost 3 heroes without the Swen even having to come in that fight.
Yeah, and now the Sven, he does have that Daedalus up. He's going to go towards the Harpoon. You know, his BKB is down to 7 seconds himself, but it is here if you want to throw it out. Nazi, the smoke's going to break. It's just going to be immediate. Stormhammer comes through here. He does have the TP. Do they have the damage? Nope. Okay, so the Sven did get Glimpse back. He wasn't able to get the right clicks off Daze, though they're going to make a move. There's going to be the Solar Guardian coming through. They lose Padanchik once again. Aerial can get back to the high ground with the Firefly, but this is still going to be, again, 2 heroes dead on the side of 4Pirates. So OG, again, they had a bit of a slower start, but they drafted for that slower start, and they weathered that 4-Pirate storm, and they are making it count now. A 10k net worth lead, 24 kills in 29 minutes. This is looking really good. And OG, again, not trying to throw a cast of curse on them, but they are looking in control in the second game and the series as a whole.
And as 4Pirates to go for a smoke, the Lifestealer is there. They may be able to find a wraparound here, Rob.
Let's see where they want to go. It's going to be the TP away here. Stormstormer didn't TP too far. Avatos comes out, but OTAKE are going to be able to get the kill onto Daze. Do they want to go for a little bit more here? The lasso is up if they can find a target. We can see the OG, they break the glass in case of emergency. Yo, they are out of there. And it's only going to be a support Tiny that they get the pickoffs from for that smoke gank.
You don't. The problem is. Oh wait, I'll have to hold that thought because they might actually find Stormstormer.
Yeah,
This is a big kill.
He does have a BKB, going to be able to get it off. The dismember is here, though. Is there going to be a response here in time? Stormstormer throws that tornado. The ice wall comes out here, too. Has the blink dagger in 2 seconds to the hook. It will not connect. Stormstormer with the ghost walk will be able to get out. Going to cost him a BKB charge. It's his biggest BKB charge, too, but he gets himself out alive.
That would have been such a good kill for 4Pirates if they were able to find it. But again, no response for the BKB, right? It just comes out, and you don't have the follow-up damage to actually take the magic immune target down inside of that dismembered duration. So there's not a whole lot of room to play with for 4Pirates, and their high ground defense at the back of that punch isn't looking too strong because you have that Solar Guardian. Even if he gets a deep hook in, OG are going to be on top of him before 4Pirates can actually do much.
And if they win another fight here, they are smoked up on the side of OG. They might be looking for OTAKE, who's going to be revealed. They don't know what's behind him, though. They have the chance because Roshan is back up, so there's multiple objectives on the map here that OG can go for. If they win another fight, it's going to be the Ghost Strength coming in. Yeah, to get right on top of Narwhal. The Cataclysm comes out now as well. They just delete that Narwhal, and now they're going to be able to make a move. That's going to be an early borrowed time coming out of the Abaddon. By the time the disruption was up, look at this one, the backlines. Supports go down, and now Mr. Morale, he's going to be cleaved down by Shad. Shad hitting the big crits, the big number crits here, and they just might be able to go. That's again, it's not the dieback death for Mr. Morale, but he isn't going to have a buyback for this fight. It might cost 4Pirates a tier 3 tower.
I think it's going to be a full lane of barracks. I mean, the Budge used the BKB right before he went down, so he's not exactly going to have that. And Shad, like you mentioned, Daedalus, sure you need 1,000 damage critical strike inside of your God Strength, but even outside of the God Strength, you're still able to deal massive crits, right?
Do you want to know what the crit was on Abaddon to get the kill?
How much?
1,677 damage.
Oh, that is rough. That is rough. And that's partly why this Abaddon, we saw him pop out the borrowed time from the get-go, right? Because even he realizes that if he doesn't use the borrowed time, I don't even think it procs on him before he goes down.
Yeah, he just dies if he gets crit like that. That is just like the balloon just gets popped here. Roshan is going to roar. This is going to give it away to the side of 4Pirates. They are going to smoke up, try and make a response happen. But this might be a bait-in from OG because they back themselves away from the Roche Pit as soon as that roar comes out.
There's a 5-man smoke as well. They want to actually wrap around 4Pirates from the high ground.
Oh, look at this one. Do they have vision? That smoke's going to break here. Ariel on the low ground. It looks like the Watcher might see them. Do they make a move? Because there is a lifestealer inside that Bat Rider. Stormstormer's got to be careful, but Ariel doesn't make the jump. Sunstrike comes out. Not going to connect here. Daisy walks himself up. Smoke's going to break here for him, too. He might just see Pedantic. He gets that avalanche off. The ward goes down now, too. I'm hearing the God Strength. Who do they want to try and go on here now? Stormstormer hits the tornado onto the supports now. It looks like it's going to be Natty Noah once again being dismembered himself by the Sven. Disruption comes out now. I think that was on the Sven just to try and keep him in this fight. The BKB is going to be here. OTAKE being deleted by these right clicks. Can he get the damage off to get the kill? He's going to try and lifesteal his way through this one. It's not going to be enough. They take down another 4 heroes. They are on the chase to make it a full 5-man wipe. Pedantic, the toss comes out. He is dead and buried too. There's a 1,600 damage crit. They don't even need the Roshan. No buybacks on the side of 4Pirates. This might be, what am I hearing? Is that the Fat Lady? She might be singing this game. It might be over.
I don't think there's much that 4Pirates can do to come back from this. I mean, I don't even think there's anything they can do to stop OG from hitting the tier 4s. They're just going to go for it without the Roshan even by their side. They will go for the tier 3s first for good measure, but it's half of their heroes on those tier 4s, and OG recognize just how weak of a hero the core Pudge is, particularly if he doesn't have that snowball start. So you have Shad, who just jumps on the Pudge each and every single time they have, and once you have a Sven on top of you, there isn't a single hero in the game that can actually withstand the amount of damage that he puts out. Even Stormstormer, this chooses not to control 4Pirates, but to actually enable his Sven with that alacrity in those team fights, and it's looking kind of over, Rob. I'm not too sure if 4Pirates can actually contest against this OG, this version of an OG that I think everyone in the Dota universe has been waiting for so long, and we finally have it.
Yeah, this is going to be another Aegis going the way of Shad here. Lelis gets himself that Roshan banner left, with there only being a tier 2 and a tier 3 tower left. if all those tier 4s in the top lane for the side of 4Pirates, I think I know where OG might be heading next. And this is going to be such a... because what's your high ground defense here? You've got the Firefly for the Batrider, can cut waves like this one. Maybe the kinetic field, you've got the Rot from the Pudge. But, you know, the Firefly and the Rot means you have to be point blank in the wave. You have to reveal yourself. And this high ground defense, it's not the strongest for the side of 4Pirates. So we'll see how this is going to go on as they... looks like they get the scouts out on the Batrider now too. Batrider trying to get himself through the gate. It looks like he might be able to. Daze isn't going to be chasing the Batrider out here because they've got bigger fish to fry. They've got towers to take down on the side of OG. They take down the tier 2. Do they want to go for mega creeps here? Do they want to try and end this one with this Aegis in their grasp? It looks like OG, that's exactly what they're grouping up for.
And it's going to be so difficult, right, to fight against this. I mean, it's just one lane of barracks. Right now, all Shad really needs to do is pop that Godfriend and hit the tier 3s. You don't even have the... you don't even have the glyph. It's on a 3-minute cooldown, so that means that all you need to do, pop that Godfriend, take mega creeps, secure yourself this series.
And look at this one, Sven's going to throw that Stormhammer. Actually gets a stun out onto the Pudge there as well. Natty now, well, there's going to be no follow-up. Harpoon drive back off to that infested creep now. It looks like they want to try and make a move. Shad just backs himself up. They still got this Roshan banner, so the creeps, as long as you don't get pulled back behind, the racks will still be alive. And there goes Shad. He's going to jump himself in the cataclysm, comes out now. So Natty now, he just barely survives. Borrowed time pops immediately here by that Abaddon. And do you want to try and fight this one at Otaka? He's just going to lose his life without being able to do anything for this fight. And again, he's got no buyback into this one. Chad, he just wants to carry on going. They're going to be able to lose Mr. Morale now. Natty Noah going to be next on the chopping block. The Harpoon drags him back in. 4 heroes dead. Do they want to make it a full 5-man? They're going to dive the fountain for this one. OG, they are feeling themselves. Let's give the TP away from the Disruptor, trying to deny them that full 5-man wipe. And it looks like they have the damage to get this one before the Ancient breaks. No, just barely not able to claim that full 5-man, but they do get the series. Stick it on a mixtape because it is a wrap here for the side of OG.
Two very clean games coming out from OG. I mean, they played it cool, calm, and collected, recognizing the strength of their lineup, the strength of the heroes that they were playing with, enabling each other, waiting patiently. Despite of the lack of patience from some of the earlier team fights, they actually improved upon that. Lelis was waiting on the back lines in that last team fight as well, and this is looking like the OG that I am hopeful to see, because Stormer, Daze, Lelis, you have such talented players, Mixa and Shad too, and I do think that if OG continue to play like this, they're actually going to have a phenomenal lower bracket run. We may even see them making it all the way to the grand finals.
Yeah, I am, I'll be waiting there on Sunday for that Grand Finals cast. I think it's going to be me and Snare on that, so, maybe I am going to be seeing OG once more. On the other side, to give props to 4Pirates here in the second game, I think they recognized weaknesses in the draft. They tried to play it a little bit quicker. They tried to play the heroes a little bit more to their style, and it was working in the early game. They couldn't keep that momentum up, but, props to them to adapt him from that first to second game, and it is their elimination here, but, again, that's lessons to be learned. They're going to be able to take excuse me, that knowledge forwards and improve next time here in CCT. And okay, they couldn't close it out this time, but looking forward to seeing these players grow even more and seeing what they can do next time around.
Hopefully they have a better time next time around. I mean, they've been having a lot of success in some of the other tournaments out there. Over at CCT, things changed quite a bit, right? Because you even see it, all of the 4 invited teams, they dropped down to the lower bracket within that first round, right? And 4Pirates are going to be joining Passion UA as the second invited team to be eliminated from this series number 4.
Yeah, and that is going to be it for the series, but it's not going to be it for the day. Toltris, I do believe you're locked in for all 3 series, but first, we are going to take a break, so we'll let you have a little bit of a rest before the next series starts, and we're going to be back here with the second series right after this break.